What's going on? You are listening to the Ruben Jay Show, or you're watching this on YouTube, the MultiMediaMouth YouTube channel. It's Ruben Jay here, and this is a special bonus episode in the week called "Watch This." And basically, the idea of this podcast and this particular episode is to share with you. My hair looks like a mess. To share with you basically what I watched and to give you my thoughts on it. So it's not going to be a long episode. It's not going to be a long video. It's going to be pretty short. But I have, at the time of watching this movie, I had AMC A-list Stubs A-list, which is a great product. It's $25 a month, and you can watch 3 movies a week, and you get 10% off popcorn and all that stuff. And it's a great feature. It's a great thing to have. You save money on popcorn. You have a membership. You can go watch a bunch of movies. You watch 2 movies a month. It makes up for it easily. But for me, I started out when it was $21 a month, and it went up to 23 or whatever it was. Now it's I think 25 or $24 a month, and so I canceled that, and now I have AMC or Regal's Unlimited, and that pass is pretty much the same, except you can watch unlimited amounts of movies. You can watch as many as you want in a week. There's no limit, and you also get 10% off concessions. So I can go watch a movie 3 times a week, 4 times a week, 5 times. I can go every day if I wanted to. There are not that many movies that interest me, but the good thing is it lowers my risk of disliking a movie so much. I'm not going to go pay $20 to go watch a movie and then end up hating it at the end of it, and regret paying that money for that movie. I may regret watching the movie or whatever. My hair is really bugging me. If you're watching the video of this, sorry, I keep trying to fix my hair. It looked good a second ago. Anyway, so I highly encourage you to go and get one of these memberships if they're in an area, if they're available in an area that you live in, because it's a great way to watch a bunch of movies, get some discounts on concessions, and also just enjoy the film industry. And I know there's a lot of films out there that are not that great, but this is a good way to watch it. So the movie I'm going to talk about today is called A Man Called Otto, and it's a great film. Tom Hanks is the star of it, and it's a movie about a man called Otto, and his wife passed away, and he was a very meticulous lifestyle. He's that typical older gentleman, and he doesn't like people walking on his lawn. There are rules in the complex that he lives in that he wants people to follow, and people don't follow them. And it's a great film. The trailer is going to be linked in the description of this episode. I'm not going to show any of it because I don't want to get struck down with copyright, but it's a great film. And I gave it an 8 out of 10. And I'll tell you why I gave it an 10. Tom Hanks did an incredible job. He's a phenomenal actor, and he acted perfectly in this film. There was not anything in the acting that I would change. The other woman, I don't remember her name, but the other kind of main character, she does a great job of playing a sympathetic woman who is just trying to create this relationship with a man called Otto. And Otto is that typical old man who will come up to you and tell you that you shouldn't park your car a certain way because that's not the way that was meant to be. But he's also the man who is always working on a project, always something that you like. He's the guy that you would go to borrow a ladder from. It's a part of the movie. Someone asked him to borrow a ladder. And so the film goes on, starts off with him having this contentious relationship with these neighbors that moved in across the street. And ultimately, this family wins him over. I believe it was the little girls that won him over, because these girls would just not leave him alone. The wife would constantly cook for him. And so the reoccurring theme in the movie is that Otto is trying to kill himself to be reunited with his wife, because his wife was the best part of his life. And the movie starts out with him retiring from his job. He retired from the job that he had for a long time. And the reason why he retired was because he did not want to answer to somebody else who he trained or something. So he's decided to retire. We then see him cancel his light bill, cancel his electricity, his gas bill. He's the type of person who, if he says in the movie, if I pay for a month for 6 days of gas. You best believe I'm going to use 6 days worth of gas. He's planning on killing himself because he wants to get back with his wife, who passed away of complications from an accident from years earlier. And so every time he tries to kill himself, he fails for some reason, some way, somehow he fails. And the lady, this new neighbor, will bring him food, and the food will give him some hope. And you can see that he has like this active, like, oh, this is good food. Typical man. Oh, this is good food. It's worth living, right? And I think she's Puerto Rican or she's Mexican or something, and so the food's good, it looks good. Um, and so Otto sticks around, and then after a couple days wants to kill himself. Um, and it's a good movie. I mean, it's a really good movie. The cinematography of it is really well shot. The music's really good. I mean, the anticipation of him killing himself is really built up, and then for it to fail every single time, it's pretty interesting. And you see him over the course of the film growing into a new man, and ultimately he finds purpose in his life. And it's a great, again, it's a really feel good movie that this older gentleman who wants to kill himself just doesn't. He finds reasons to stick around, even if it is for some random ladies cooking and their kids. And he has this relationship with this family that just, it's a beautiful thing. This family begins to care for him and truly look out for his best interests. And at some point, for some reason, the lady decides that she wants to help Otto kind of clean out his home and make it more comfortable for him. His wife has been dead for a while, and it might make sense to pack up her stuff that is left around. And he loses it and almost has a heart attack, almost ruins the relationship. And ultimately they reconcile, and it's great. It's wonderful. We learn that part of the reason why Otto is the way that he is because his wife was expecting a child earlier in their life. And there was an accident in a bus that unfortunately ended that pregnancy, which was a rough scene to watch, especially as somebody who is an advocate for life. And it's always heartbreaking in real life when an unborn child, a preborn child, is taken from us. And so Otto had built out a home, like a room for the baby already, and had a crib. And the lady across the street she was pregnant and expecting a child, and Otto gifts her the bassinet that he built himself, and it was a sweet moment, and it was great. It was a great film. The reason why I gave it an 8 out of 10 is because the film was almost a perfect film in my opinion. They had to put in the woke ideology. There was a trans kid involved. While it was done tastefully and it wasn't like shoving it down your throat, it really didn't really. It made no like progress of the film. Like it wasn't a thing that like, oh, if this part didn't happen, we wouldn't have seen Otto's, humanity. It would have been the same, in my opinion. This kid could have been a cisgender person. It does not make a difference. It's a troubled youth who is working multiple jobs trying to buy a car, and Otto ends up giving him his car and buying a new truck for himself. So it's a great, it's a touching moment, but it didn't need to be a trans kid. It didn't need to be a trans kid. That's the only reason why, for me, the film got knocked down a little bit, was because it was a great wholesome film, and then you had to go in and put in some ideology in it, as opposed to letting it stand on its own. Good film. It's still in the theaters as of this recording. I don't know if it's going to be on a streaming platform, but I highly recommend get a ticket to go watch A Man Called Otto, because it is a great film. Tom Hanks is phenomenal in it. I think it's going to be it's one of my top 5 Tom Hanks films, and I've seen a bunch of his films. I think you're really going to enjoy it. Tom Hanks did a great job. The cast overall was great. You see some really great just interactions with the different characters, and them kind of living the, working out their past life issues was good. And it was great to see an Otto. There was a falling out with one of the neighbors that ends up being reconciled, and it's a great film. And I know I gave away the whole plot line, but that's my review. That's my review of A Man Called Otto. 8 out of 10. Go watch it. It's a great film. You're gonna like it. This is Ruben Jay. Make sure to subscribe to this YouTube channel. Subscribe to this podcast. Leave us 5-star review on your podcast platform of choice. It helps us out a lot. And share us with a friend. And I will see you guys on Monday. Adios.